And here I thought coal power was going to last us just a little bit longer. Well, turns out, well, we're running out. So today is going to be basically getting started for expanding this power grid. But I'm going to be skipping over the fuel. I mean, I'm still using that fuel generators, but I'm skipping over fuel power and jumping right into turbo fuel. Now, I've got, what do we got? Like maybe 500 megawatts to play with left before we hit our max. Our max consumption is actually already our max capacity. However, not everything's kind of running at 100%, which kind of works out for me. And since I've got a little bit left that we can make use of, we're going to start the day off by making some batteries. Well, I'm actually going to make a battery blueprint. I'm going to try and make it like stackable, and you can just kind of link them together and set them up and tear them down easily. And then we're going to move on to a temporary liquid biofuel setup, packaged liquid biofuel setup no less, just so we have something else to use for our jetpack. Emergency fuel for cars and everything. Oh, speaking of which, look at that. Unlock the Explorer. I didn't do a ton in between the episodes. I did expand out our build area a little bit. So this is going to be for our temporary explosive rebar. Although the rest of the to-do list is actually going to be completed elsewhere. This is just going to be a hand-fed, and it's loaded with some summer sloops as well, so I get 25 explosive rebar per minute. I'll just have to load it with iron rebar, which it's already full of, steel pipes, which is also already full of, and then some smokeless powder. Now that's what we have to do, is do a temporary black powder, which is going to turn into a, well, overall temporary smokeless powder setup, which is technically what that should say on the to-do list. That was my bad. But yeah, so we're going to do those. They're going to get torn down eventually, but I just really need some explosive rebar ammo. And then we're going to be heading on over to the Blue Crater to start to end off the episode. We'll be setting up a compact coal, just a little starter setup. I think overall we're probably going to get about 5,000 megawatts from our first turbo fuel build. Nothing crazy, but it's just a start. I've never actually tried using turbo fuel before, so this is going to be a learning experience for me. And then, as far as I could tell, at least from the map anyway, and what's over there, it's also a perfect place to do a turbo fuel mega project, and then eventually even a rocket fuel, because basically everything you need is sort of in this general area. And then I'll maybe set up like some trains, like we're talking like way later on down the line, but set up like a train loop for the sulfur and stuff like that. Sorry, almost died. Okay, so the other things that I ended up doing is I did just move. Actually, I've moved the lizard doggo's sanctuary. They're now living over there by that tree. We'll get on over there in a second. So what I needed them moved so I could expand out this platform for, look at here, we've got the 5x5 Mark II blueprint maker. So I'm pretty excited to be giving that a go over the next few episodes. Over here is my trash bin. It just empties out. I got 3 bins. You can empty out into an awesome sink. Just for I gotta like unload a bunch of stuff. Then we've got I moved our power augmenter from up on the roof over there to down here because I had kind of a perfect space for it. And then the space elevator is also now up on the platform. So that is now all basically what I did in between the episodes. Then I'll show you the lizard doggo area. But yeah, if you want to follow along as per usual, the download is in the Google Drive. Link is in the description. You guys can also find my blueprints. I'm going to be adding a whole bunch more, probably over the next like couple weeks or so. So make sure you keep your eye out for those if you want to be using it in my blueprints. I think they're pretty cool. Up here, if you remember, it's just like a slooped constructor with some stuff. It's like a hand feeding system. That I used to make a bunch of solid biofuel, and then that's going to be what I'm going to feed into the system here for the temporary liquid biofuel. But before we get into that, let's hop on over to our new blueprint maker, and we can make some cool battery blueprints. Okay, so I am here with now a 5x5, 5 that way, 5 that way, and then I believe it's also one whole space taller as well, so you can actually make taller blueprints in this one. And then I believe the Mark III is 6x6, and then also another one higher than this even. So you can make some like crazy big blueprints when you hit the end game. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and grab some batteries. I did go ahead and unlock like the signs I've unlocked most of the things at this point in terms of like the things you can buy from the Awesome Shop. You know, not that I really have much of this automated, but you know, I do have that little bit of crystal ready to go, and we have not a ton of crystal oscillators, but you really only need crystal oscillators for the billboards, and I probably won't use a ton of billboards yet anyway, so that's okay. Anyway, power storage. Okay, so I kind of want to hook this up. I think we'll do maybe 9 batteries. Well, let's see how much room this takes up. So we'll go and put the 9 in. Okay, so we got 9 batteries. I think that'll probably work because I don't need this to be like huge by any means. I mean, I guess maybe I could do like, can I do 4? Let's see if I can get 4 across here. Okay, so it actually, let's do a 4x4. So we'll make this a 12 since it fits perfectly in the space there. There we go. 12 batteries, and then so I've linked, or I've marked them at least. So this is the one it starts from, and then this is the one it ends on. Although I don't actually think that really matters, as long as there's like one opens connector. But like this would be you need one connector open for the power coming in, and then one for the power coming out. So I think that'll work. So like mark them out if you want to. And you don't have to color the other ones because I'm actually going to kind of try and design this so it's like a little bit hidden. And I did unlock some more like foundations and stuff we can use, so we can try out some like new like build techniques and try and make this like cool instead of just having like a big block of batteries. Let me see if I can make this look a little bit better. Alright, that took me about a half an hour to finally get something I like, but that's I think kind of what I'm going for. I think I could have made it a little bit less boxy, but like I said, I also wanted to be able to stack them together really nicely, so I think this will work out pretty well. I just ended up using outer corner extensions on the very end, and I clipped them into the outside batteries, but you can't see inside the box anyway. So we got big concrete pillars painted bronze, coated in the middle. Then we have some metal beams going in between these, and these are the frame walls. And you've got some foundations on top with a little hole in the middle for, I don't know, just for funsies. And then I trimmed the whole thing in painted beam, and I turned those all carbon steel, and then I also made all the batteries carbon steel match. So still I have the red one where the power is going to go in, the white one where the power is going to go out. And I think really I'm actually just going to make them both, give them both that red line, and then I'll remember that the red line is where you hook the power to. So I think that works. That looks kind of decent all the way around. Not terrible, not amazing, but I think it'll work. It'll work as a battery stack. And we can go ahead and start plopping these down. We'll go ahead and save it. If you don't want to, you can build one yourself, or if you want to just go ahead and use this one, head on, like I said earlier, head on over to the Google Drive, hit up my blueprint section, and you can use this yourself. So we're going to do this battery power storage block. 12 batteries encased in a stackable block. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna make this yellow for power, and then we're gonna pop this into, I guess this can be power generation. It's more or less kind of essentially what we're looking for. It could also be under one-click factories, but I think that'll work well there. And we'll save that. There, our blueprint designer. I'm gonna pull everything out of there. There we go. So now we have some batteries that we can go ahead and throw down. I don't really have a spot where these are really going to go in particular. I really just need to bank away some extra power so that when I'm trying to kick on these next handful of factories as I'm putting together the turbo fuel, that I'm not just completely overloading my system, because I may end up using a little bit more than I actually have. Alright, I'm just over here at the old coal power plant because I just kind of wanted to stick it kind of off to the side and not necessarily out of view, but because, I mean, to be honest, it actually looks pretty good all stuck together. I think it looks all right for a battery power storage. I mean, I could maybe add some more, maybe like some cool sign design or something, but I just went ahead and I threw a power switch on the front of it so that now, when it's, I mean, not really necessary, but I figured just because. So now I'll actually be able to use all this battery power when I need it. But yeah, so that'll kind of go ahead and bank away and give us, oh, I don't know, there's a pretty decent amount of extra power I'll be able to use in that grid now. So each one, yeah, it looks like if I have all of those filled, I can get about, is that 10.5 minutes or 10.5 hours? Okay, it seems to be going up. So we'll revisit and we'll see how much. What did I stack? 4 of them on top of each other. We'll see how much battery space that actually gives me. You guys will probably know in the comments down below, but I'm just gonna go ahead and fill some of these in, just make it look like it belongs. And we can take batteries off our to-do list for today because those are all hooked up together and starting to charge. So now let's head on back to base and we'll get this temporary biofuel thing set up, and I don't have to use my solid biofuel in the jetpack anymore. I almost forgot. We gotta send off this petroleum power. I had everything loaded up ready to go and just forgot to send it off.
Milestone reached. It is my honor and privilege to inform you that the fuel-powered generator, as well as the industrial fluid buffer, are now available.
Alright.
Due to a lack of gold in your sector, Caterium will serve as a suitable replacement to construct the fuel-powered generator. Your research into this element was valuable. In fact, you in particular are my most valuable pioneer, but don't tell the others I said that. It would be bad for morale.
Nice. I'm her favorite. Let's go. Alright, so we are here. These are the water pumps that are currently being used for our giant our giant wet concrete factory. I went ahead and I overclocked this one to now do 200 per minute, which allowed me to take this one off the line. So everything is still working just a-okay in there. And this one is now going to be the water pump that I'm going to use for the liquid biofuel, which I only need 45 per minute. So I went ahead and downclocked it. And this is honestly a pretty easy layout. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw down the, where is it? The refinery first. We'll make it go that way. Let me see how much space. Oh, lots of space we're working with here. Don't need to be too hesitant about where it goes. Let's start it from about halfway on the block there. And then we're going to set this to do liquid biofuel. So I'm going to have this go up and over. We go like this. Alright, there we go. That'll be our water coming in, so I can actually flick this back on now. That filling up. And then we're also going to have to fill this with solid biofuel. Now obviously I'm not going to build a whole solid biofuel setup right here. So all I'm going to do, especially since I have a buttload in that chest right there, I'm going to transfer it to a new chest. It's going to be right here. And this is going to make all my packaged liquid, or take care of all my packaged liquid biofuel needs. And it only needs 90 per minute. So you can go Mark II belt for that one. Although, are we going to overclock this? No, I feel like I'll leave this the way it is because it's not really going to matter. If anything, I might summer sloop the packaged one if I can. I don't know if you can summer sleep a packager or not, but I'll give it a shot, and that'll just give me a little bit of a bonus. Okay, so from here, this refinery, it's going to have to feed directly into a packager. Just going to go right next to it. We're going to keep this nice, and since this is just temporary, we're going to keep this nice and tight. Grab ourselves a Mark 1 pipe. Connect it up like that. Doesn't really matter. It's not perfect, but that's okay. Doesn't have to. Yes, it does. It has to be. I mean, it's got to be better than that at least. Okay, packager. All right, there we go. So now we got the packager. This is going to get picked, or this is going to get filled up with the liquid biofuel, and then we also need empty canisters. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw down a constructor right here. The output facing towards me, so that I can just hook these up in the back. And it was just said it was just 45, I believe, right? So, oh, what do you mean? Why is that's weird? Let's try that again. I back it up one. Is that? No. See, these are like lined up together. Should be able to. Huh. I mean, that's definitely straight, but it wouldn't accept it as straight. That's interesting. Either way, that works. So now we're going to set this to empty canister. And this is going to take, I only need 45, so let's downclock this. And then I'm going to grab another industrial storage. So yes, most of this is going to be a little bit hand-fed for now, but it's going to have a pretty high output, so. So there we go. That'll feed plastic. We'll color that blue so we know what's going in there. There's the plastic. And empty canisters to make liquid packaged biofuel, which is going to be in a storage bin right here, just so it's easy access for me. And then, I mean, it looks like I have a Mercer sphere. So I think I might... Actually, I was thinking of maybe saving the Mercer sphere to send the black powder over, or have some black powder to send over. Or I guess my stack won't really be able to be that high anyway, so I guess we can probably set, so let's set the Mercer sphere on this. Or the, sorry, not the Mercer sphere, but, you know, the dimensional depot. Pop that on top. Hit it with lift. And we can power it up and call it a day. Well, once we actually put everything in here. So this is going to be, I'm going to color this brown. So that's going to be the biomass. This is the plastic. And then this will be the packaged liquid biofuel. That way I just remember where to put things. Okay, everything's all hooked up to power. We're going to load up our solid biofuel into there. Start sending it to that machine. We should start to see some liquid biofuel come out of here. And that'll start feeding into the rest of the system. And then I can probably grab the plastic I have in my thing here. I'll just grab all 800 because then that'll refill. Is there a way to faster way to grab like all 800 out instead of just grabbing one by one? I guess let me know in the comments down below, please. I feel like I'm just going to be here all day when I'm pulling them over. Okay, so that is now, look at that. Ready to go. We got packaged liquid biofuel for our jetpack. So let me go ahead and grab some of that because I think I have nothing in my... I have like one little charge left. Let's grab these. And now this will be what I need for my jetpack. That should be enough plastic for now. It's only using 22.5 per minute. That's making 45 canisters, and yeah, that'll make plenty. So that is now all finished for today. Temporary biofuel done. Look at us making great progress. Pretty like decent amount of stuff to do today, but little short things. So yeah, that should run self-sufficient for now, and then, you know, when it just kind of ends up backing up and turning itself off, it's totally fine. Or when it runs out of stuff, that's totally fine. So now our max consumption is a little bit higher than our capacity, but that's okay because we're still consuming way under. All right, let's get started on our temporary black powder setup. So I think I marked it. I did. So our temporary black powder is going to be over here. There's a pure coal node and a impure sulfur node in this general area. And then, so in the future, I've also kind of got it planned out for the space elevator parts. I'm going to build like just one big factory that's going to do smart plating, automated wiring, and the versatile framework. It's going to do 10 of each. And it's only going to need iron and coal. I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be setting that up in the future. Probably a couple episodes from now. It's going to be, I think it's like another 1,000 megawatt build. So it'll be post turbo fuel build, but that'll get us set up for actually finishing this phase of the space elevator parts. Because I'll just hand feed, I think, manufacturers or whatever it is, the parts you need for this part of the space elevator. Because I think it's like the turbo motors and all that stuff. So we'll just kind of make those by hand again. The numbers aren't too crazy, but I don't want to have to hand make like all the smart plating and all that stuff that actually goes into it. So we're going to make some factories this time. Realized I totally forgot to show you guys the new lizard doggo sanctuary. So it was over there, got moved over here. I think this is actually a pretty good spot for it because I don't think I'll really have to move it at any point. And it gave them, you know, some tree coverage. They got a little bit of land here in the middle. They got a little bit of coverage here in case, you know, they ever add rain back into the game and they need a shelter. They got a really nice view over here to, you know, nothing. The cliff, the waterfall, everything. So we got Harry, Barry, and Larry. Hey, Barry had turbo motors for us. Hey, how about that? So the three of them are just kind of hanging out here, giving me good stuff every now and then. I've gotten quite a few power slugs and a few other things from them, so that is our new lizard doggo sanctuary, and probably the permanent one, at least for definitely the foreseeable future, as I shouldn't have to move them ever again. And now we can finally move on to the temporary black powder setup. We're going to be grabbing 8 assemblers, 2 miners. Make sure I have the stuff on me for doing miners. I do. So yeah, 2 Mark II miners. You're going to be pumping out 120 sulfur per minute, 120 coal per minute. Feeding into 8 assemblers, doing a total of, I think it's like 240 black powder. So that's going to get hooked up to nothing. I'm just going to hand load that on over. Actually, I might just do, no, I want to save the, actually, I'm going to have to use 2-dimensional depots if I want to do it anyway. So this is going to have to be 1-dimensional depot for the black powder, so I don't have to come over here and get it. And then there's going to have to be another dimensional depot on the smokeless powder, where I actually make the smokeless powder, so I don't have to kind of run back and forth quite as much, or at least have like a little bit extra load into it. But I mean, 240 per minute should set this up pretty well. I'm making like far more than I actually need, but this will just make me a bunch of explosive ammo really fast, and then it'll kind of just sit off to the side and not do a whole lot until I need it again. Okay, so here I am where I marked on the map the temporary black powder spot. We've got the pure coal node right here. And then just on the other edge of the cliff here, we have our sulfur node. So we're going to throw a miner on. I'm not even going to worry about too much putting up the actual platforms, everything, because like I said, I'm going to be tearing this thing down for sure coming up in the future. It's just basically, I want to build like an actual weapons depot in the future. But for now, we're basically just need stuff for helping us on our to-do list of clean up the area over in the blue crater, because things get real nasty over there. So let's go ahead and throw that one on down there. We'll bring the conveyor belt up here. I'll probably throw down like just enough of the platforms to throw the assemblers on, and then that'll be it. All right, just a tiny little platform set up. We've got our coal miner there. We got our sulfur coming up there. Now let's go ahead and put down our 8 assemblers. That's what I said, right? Yeah, 8 assembler. I think I may have misspoke on this one, but that's okay. So our 8 assembler, we're probably gonna do like maybe do like 4 here, and then do 4 there, and then we'll just kind of split them all along, and then kind of gather them up all along the back and send it to a spot I can grab them from. There you go, 4 assemblers there, 4 assemblers there. So they're gonna set these all to 100%. These are gonna be set to black powder, be 30 per minute each. And then we're going to do all the mergers on the back here. See if I kind of line this up properly. Probably not. So we got one here. I'm going to try and put them in the middle. Send them that way. And then this one might be a little weird. Can I fit them like right here without making too much of a mess so that they actually line up? They do, okay. So let's go one there. It's a little tight, but like I said, temporary thing, no big deal. Wait, blowing things up left, right, and center here. Actually kind of excited for this. I've never used the explosive rebar before, but everyone says it's really good, so I figured I would give it a try this time. We'll get a little bit more violent. What did I say? 240s. The max that you're gonna need here is the Mark III belts. Let's connect these up all in between. And then I just need a storage. Oh, that's where that'll be okay. So we're gonna go storage, industrial storage. So I can have a bunch of it. I'll just set it like right here, so that it's pretty close by. Melt that in there. So that's the stuff I need. And then on top of that, I will put a dimensional depot. A lift going in like that. And that will put the black powder, at least some, into the dimensional depot. I don't know how big of a stack size I can have on that, but we're going to find out together. So now I just need to do all these splitters down the back for putting the coal and the sulfur in. And I mean, this one's pretty straightforward, but this is one we've done many times before. I may not even do it the hard way where I do like the triple stacks and the lifts. I may make it a little easier on myself. And we just do like a double stack or just fall off the ledge like that. That works too. There you go, Sheffrey. All right, there we go. So that's going to be the feeder system. I haven't done the ones over there yet. I haven't connected them yet either. But all I did was just do the double stack splitters and then feed them down in like that. So I don't have to worry about putting all the lifts and everything and stacking too many. This is just to save myself time since this is really just not going to last that long of a build. I'm going to come back through here and destroy it again at some point. The only thing I forgot is that I need to actually turn these splitters to have their input coming from this way. I had them all facing that direction. But the sulfur is going to be coming from this way while the coal comes down along the bottom. So I got those all turned around and I can hook these up now. And then now I can actually go and do the other side over here as well. So we're just taking our splitters. The bottom one on the coal is going to be facing from this direction. And then the sulfur on the top, we're going to turn them. I guess you don't really have to turn the bottom one, but face from coming from this direction so that we can feed this with the sulfur. And then we should be able to hook this all on and we'll have some a whole bunch of black powder being automated. Yeah, we're just going to delete this bottom one. Look up our Mark I belts. Can't use straight mode for here because if you try and use straight mode and build down like that, it just gives you like this weird, tries to give you like a weird straight down, straight up thing. So you got to go default mode for this one. Then that's just how they get together. Okay, so now we're just going to put the rest of them in and then we'll go from there. There we go. It's almost like a professional built this. So now this is going to get the 120 sulfur from over here, 120 coal from over there. This is all going to pump out the black powder. I'll get merged over here into the storage. And that is temporary black powder done. I got the power hookups done. I just need to actually run the power over here. But while we're here, we can take that off our to-do list. See, these are like nice little easy projects, which I kind of like. And it just kind of sets me up to have a few things on hand that I could really use, and I don't really have the power or the some of the technologies yet to put together like some of these builds properly, so it's nice to just kind of get a head start. So let's head we'll head on back to base. We'll get this hooked up along the way, and then we can head on over the temporary explosive rebar. So the smokeless powder that we have to build, that is going to happen over here because I have a little bit extra oil there ready to go. And that'll feed into some refineries. It's going to give us some extra rubber as well that I'll probably use in the future, but for now I'm just going to throw into this thing for some points. All right, I ran back over here just because I want to make sure it was all working, but it looks like everything's we're filling up with black powder now, so that's good. I wonder what my stack size is going to be. 800. Okay, so that's actually not bad. That'll definitely save me a trip or two over here. So that should be, I mean, even if this isn't 100% efficient, I honestly don't really care that much. So now we're going to run on over. It's going to take me a little bit, but, you know, we'll grab some liquid biofuel for our jetpack on the way. Take out some of these things. Make sure we have everything we need. We need 6 refineries for rubber. And then we need another 12 refineries doing the smokeless powder. You don't really need to hit all these numbers if you don't want to be doing that many. But this just is going to speed things along by quite a bit, so... Actually, I take that back. 12 refineries, that's 18 refineries, and that's way more power than we kind of have to spare at the moment. And I don't think I need to be cranking out smokeless powder that quickly. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set up like 3 refineries for the heavy oil residue and like 6 refineries for the smokeless powder. Then just cut this in half to give us 9. And then I should have enough to do it that way. Plus we do have a little bit. I mean, once the batteries are fully charged, we'll have a 6400 megawatt per hour storage pack packed away, and that'll definitely cover us for setting up this turbo fuel build. But I mean, you're looking at like 12 hours before it's done charging, so and that's in-game time, so I don't know if that'll actually charge that all the way. But yeah, let's head on over. We'll grab what we need. We're gonna dumb that down, dumb this refinery number down. We're gonna change this to just 12. And I actually only need 9. And then I don't need any more assemblers now. I don't need any more, or these 2. Oh, actually, yeah, I do need I still need 2 minor Mark IIs for the compact coal at the end. And I can't remember if I put the oil extractor down over there or not. So we'll make sure we got that as well. But yeah, so we're gonna I'll meet you guys over at our Best Buy, our electronics factory, aka Best Buy, and our original oil factory. We're gonna head on over there now, and a blink of an eye will be there. Just like that, blink of an eye, and we're here. Here's our my unfinished decorations of my electronics factory, and my pretty cool looking plastics and rubber and packaged fuel factory. So now we're here. I did go ahead. I remember now, I did set up the actual oil pump there. And then I just kind of added on a little bit of a concrete platform here because, like I said, we do need to fit 9 refineries. So I'm pretty sure this should be ample enough room to pull that off. And so we're going to head down to the oil pump here. I'll set this up afterwards, like once we get this kind of going. But let me get up the 3 refineries for the rubber. Okay, so if I'm going 3 rubber refineries, that means I only need 90 per minute from here. So this is, yes, a total waste since this is a pure node, but like I said, only temporary. You'd be like, Chef, you're completely throwing this one to waste. Be like, yeah, kinda. So we're gonna set that up with a little oil loop for now. So I'm also gonna show you guys something really quick, just in case you're ever like setting up a manifold line like this and you ever have like some liquids issues. So I think an easy way to get around it is I'll show you right now. So we're going to go with logistics. I'm going to put a pipeline hole right here. It lines up with kind of lines up with this. I mean, close enough anyway. So we'll start that one there. And we'll put in the other one down there. And then another one on the end. And then now here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to grab our pipeline Mark 1. Let's connect those up like that. I'm going to bring a loop one around the very back to the back part there. So I might have to put a, if I want to make it straight, I'll have to put a thing in. So we'll hook those up like that, just like normal. However, this could really cause some sloshing issues. I mean, even if you were to like right hand turn this one, it could end up like, because the machines don't actually, like, there is occasionally a time where they're not pulling fluids. That's where you can end up having like sloshing issues. So if we just go ahead and grab a little fluid buffer, stick it right here on the backside, and then we're going to come over here. All right, pipeline support, we're going to line it up here. So I should line up with this one. And then we're going to hook that into this fluid buffer here. Bring this around here as well. Again, this is not necessarily since this is just a temporary build, but I figured I would take this opportunity to show you guys just in case you ever have that issue. And then that way, so the excess oil that's going to be pumping through it, like anytime it's like, oh, I got a little bit extra, it'll flow back around through the loop. And then also any little bit of extra can just kind of sit in this fluid buffer right here. So just kind of helps keep things a lot even and running smoother. Okay, so I just threw a little awesome sink off to the side there. That's going to suck down the rubber. 120, or sorry, it's only actually put out 60. I'm looking at my old build guide here. So 60 rubber per minute going to be flown into the old awesome sink there. We'll deal with that again in the future. If I was to actually build this the other way, I probably would have went with heavy oil residue, and then we would have just had polymer resin to sink. If I was still going with the 6 and, or technically it would have been 3 refineries doing heavy oil residue, and then 12 refineries for the smokeless powder, but this should be fine. So I was going to grab the other 6 here. We're going to put them down, I think, kind of in groups of 3. I'll just put them facing like all like this. Oh, look at that. I was able to get all 6 in there anyway, with enough space to spare for moving around and everything, and still getting all my pipes and everything in there. In fact, I might move this down just a little touch more. Just to give myself just a little last bit of extra room I think I might need. Make sure those are lined up though. Oh, I'll start from this one. That gives us room to still move around. And we'll move them over accordingly. So now we got our 6 refiners in place. These are going to be in the smokeless powder, like I said. And they're going to have to get fed with a solid input and a liquid input. So the solid input is obviously just going to get fed from some storage boxes that we're going to do. So we can kind of just stick that off down here somewhere. Let's start with the fluid. So we're going to have to take them out of here. It means I'm going to have to build a little bit of a fluid collection system here. So we grab our pipeline supports, as I usually do. Let's figure out where I want to put these in. I'm going to I think I'm going to put them in right here. Like right in between, like not quite in the middle, but I'll just offset a little bit. I could even bring them back a little bit if I wanted to, but I think that's a little bit too far. So I'm going to click and drag everybody up all the way. And then just give them all the way down here. Merger's okay where it is. It's just going to go like right along the side of it. Go our pipeline mark 1. And then so I might as well just keep it up. So for here, it would be like right there. Just trying to get a 90-degree turn. We're going to bring these all the way down. This might be a little far out, but I think it should be okay. Okay, just skipped ahead because I don't know, the pipes were giving me some guff. They wouldn't line up properly, so I don't know why, but they're like just ever so slightly tiny off center. I don't like, you can't even see it, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But now that those are all hooked up, that is the heavy oil residue for making the, where are we at here? Smokeless black powder. Smokeless powder, I guess is just called. And so now I need to set up a manifold line of splitters coming down this way. My chest on this side probably, and that is going to be our smokeless powder, all temporary setup, ready to go. All right, and she is officially done. I added this overflow pipe on the back. Just fly to show you really quick, just in case we again have any sort of flow issues. It just kind of loops around and back into the system. Don't worry about putting in a flue buffer or anything. That should make everything run just fine. So now in here is where we're going to throw our black powder. So I'll throw a few that, like some of that in, and can I hold shift and pull it? Does that work? No? How about control? Well, I can't really tell now because I already grabbed it anyway. So we're going to throw that into there. We're going to turn all of these on as our black smokeless black powder at 100%. And then we're going to turn these on as well because we have no heavy oil or residue coming out yet. And then that should be everything we need. Oh, I got to put a merger on the back side here, so we can actually put these into something useful, aka storage. With a, yeah, we'll throw the depot on this one too. All right, there is the dimensional depot on top of the storage. That'll suck up all the smokeless black powder. And so theoretically, I mean, I don't have enough heavy oil residue in the line yet for these to actually kick on. I should any moment. And then there should be enough black powder in there for them to actually start running. So we'll kind of come back to this one in like a few minutes. We'll start heading over maybe back to base, and we'll start seeing some in the dimensional depot, and then we can actually have our explosive and this technically takes the explosive rebar off the to-do list once this is up and running. So oh, I see green, and I see smokeless black powder. Okay, cool. So let's take that off our to-do list. Feeling pretty proud of myself. I don't think I've ever actually automated this before, so that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, actually I have, because I made ammo in my last playthrough, or just like the rifle ammo. Speaking of which, now we can actually make that. So this should be pumping the heavy oil residue into the system now. If we get any sort of excess in the system, it'll flow all the way around. As you can kind of see, it already is. So that'll help spread the love through the system. That'll get everything going. I don't have this hooked up to power. I was like, why is this not doing anything? It's not hooked up to power. I need you to go ahead and sink in all that rubber. Take it away, Mr. Smart Sink. And then that's all good to go now. So that'll be filling into the dimensional depot. Get a stack size of 400. That's not bad, but not great. I mean, it will definitely alleviate a certain amount of trips over here. And, you know, it's not like it's a like 1-to-1 bullet ratio. So once we've got that kind of filled up a little bit, and we'll actually start to make some explosive rebar. So let me just kind of grab, actually, we'll let it do its thing. We'll let it fill up to 400 on our way back to base. And then we can start making some explosive rebar. I forgot to grab the liquid biofuel on my way over, and that's why I don't have very much jet fuel or jetpack fuel anymore. And I think what I also might do is I'll start making some of those human hypertube cannons that we used to use, just to kind of launch ourselves around from all these little bases we have set up now. Because the more spread out we get, I mean, even driving can take a little while to get out here, so not that I have roads out here anyway, but you know, just to save ourselves some time, we'll just start sending ourselves flying through the air. Alright, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Let's head back to base. Alright, the time has come. I can go ahead and throw some smokeless black powder into this manufacturer here. And we'll start to see some explosive rebar come out. Now, I did summer sloop this, so we actually get way more. But it also means, as you can see, we use an absolutely insane amount of power making these. So definitely don't run this too often, because that's 100% maxing, like, as you can see, way maxed out my power grid. But I'm running on the batteries right now, so that's just kind of working out. I think I may have to turn some stuff off or dumb this down a little bit, because that is too much power for me. Imagine almost 1,000 megawatt, 3/4 of 1,000 megawatts for one machine. That's crazy. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, that made me real nervous, so I actually just temporarily shut off my steel factory while I bank up some explosive rebar here. And then once we have, I don't know, I guess a couple stacks, we'll be able to, I mean, probably even unnecessary, probably one stack could be fine. We can head on over to the blue crater. We're not going to be cleaning up the whole blue crater today, but we do need to clear out a little section, I think probably roughly about right here, because I would think these little water pools right here, I think this is where the sulfur is, and then back down here is where the coal is. So I'm probably just going to put a little temporary platform right here. And then for our turbo fuel, the fuel is going to come from right there. So it should work as a little platform right here. Not going to be anything fancy, just a little starter to get us going before our mega project. Okay, sorry, my recording crashed again, and I just realized I haven't been recording for the past few minutes. So I'm here over at the blue crater. I did go ahead and take out a few things already. There was a spider that like jumped up at me from over there, but he ended up just jumping out the cliff. So I'm pretty sure he's actually just down there somewhere, and I'm still going to have to deal with him. But now that we've got the explosive rebar, we can use it for taking out like the gas pillars and everything. So everything's just a little bit easier now that we actually have the explosive rebar ammo. And I'm just going to take a few minutes. I'm going to clear out all the stuff that's in here. Like there's some spitters, there's more gas pillars, and I just kind of want to make this area a little bit flatter overall. I don't know if you can actually take out these giant purple mushrooms or not. Maybe you can't. Yeah, we're going to be making our way through here. Maybe just set up like because the coal's over there, sulfur's right here, right? So maybe we'll just set up like a nice little platform right here for our first, get a little compact coal going. And then I'll probably just end up throwing it into a sink for now to get some free points. Alright, well I got my temporary platform set up here. This is going to be where all my assemblers end up going. And honestly, I don't know if it just happened to be the area I picked, or things are having trouble spawning. I had to kill one spitter. That was it. That's the only thing I ran into here. I mean, I had the couple of those like flower things that were up there by the sulfur mines, but literally in between here and the coal, just a spitter. Well, now Mr. Bean's there too, but literally it was one spitter walking through here. I was like, I thought there was more here. Maybe they're more over there. So we're definitely still going to need the explosive rebar at some point. It's definitely helped me for taking out like these little pillars and stuff. I don't know if you know you could take those out, but among the gas pillars, sometimes I also need to take these things out too. So just one little boop like that. Trying to take out the guy. There's actually a lizard doggo down there. I'm not going to actually capture him, but I'm just trying to keep him alive because he's trying to walk into the gas pillars. Don't do it, my friend. You will stay alive. Uh-oh. Computer's starting to have some more problems again. And I swear, running this game for like more than 2 hours, and it's like, I've had enough. So let's kind of bring this episode slowly to a close here. We'll clean up the area off our to-do list because I thought that was going to be a little bit more work. And then we'll set up this compact coal. So let me grab my little build guide here. Compact coal. Pumping out, what do we got? 150 per minute? No, that's not how many I need. I need 120 per minute. I don't know why my mind's going crazy. We need 120 per minute. I think I might make 150 though, and then we'll sink the little bit extra. So I need, looks like 6 assemblers here. So we're gonna grab our production, grab our assemblers. We still need to make some actually like assembler blueprints and stuff. So let's start it from about, it doesn't really matter, like I said, this is gonna be another temporary one. But at least we'll be set up with this for now. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go, we got 6 whole assemblers. Let's set these to do. My dumbass. Compact coal. So we're going to set these all to do compact coal, and then we're going to set up our little splitter merger system. And it should be good to go. So we need a total 150. Does that make sense? 25 per minute. Yeah, 150 coal, 150 sulfur. This one I set to the wrong one. Did I set them all to black powder? Oh, boo. Okay, there we go. Sorry, 150 for each of these, and then the compact coal is going to go on the back. And then we're just going to throw that into an awesome sink over here for now. I think I'm actually no. I think I'm going to send it down. Yeah, I'll probably send it in this direction for when it actually has to hook up to the fuel. So let's set our mergers here. And we'll say we'll put it about right halfway out. Oh, my graphics are starting to die out too. Okay, let's make this quick. Alright, we're skipping ahead because I gotta move it along for my computer's health's sake. It's getting hot in here too. So I did just kind of run a random conveyor belt line. I know it's ugly, but like I said, we're going to be tearing this down. I mean, and we'll fix it a little bit in the future. So I've got lifts hooked up. I've got sulfur coming in here. Culper. The coal will come in over here. And then we're just going to put in our usual splitter system going all the way down along the middle here. So I'm going to put these in just like this. Pop those in there. That's not even close to where that was supposed to go, but you guys know exactly how to do this. So we're going to pop these down all the way along, and then we'll hook them up, and then we'll hopefully power this thing on, and I'm fingers crossed it works. Alright, I'm hanging out up here on this giant purple mushroom tower tree thing, because we're all set up ready to go. Is it pretty? No. Will it be functional? Absolutely, and that's all I can really ask for. So those are going to be making the compact coal that we're going to be using in our turbo fuel in the next episode. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to just get everything all done today because I still have to set up a whole fuel part over here that sends fuel up to mix with the compact coal to make the actual turbo fuel, and then we'll have to put those into, I think it's like 20 fuel generators, and instead of doing 20, Maybe I'll just do 10 and overclock them just to make it like a really super simple small build. Since I fully intend on tearing this whole thing down when it comes down to time, or when it comes time to doing our mega project of this. And probably by the time we get there, we'll be able to do rocket fuel. And I believe the rocket fuel is basically just the turbo fuel mixed with, I think it's like nitric acid, which there's a big supply of it over there. So I'm pretty sure this should be a great place for a mega project of rocket fuel. We're probably talking like 100,000 megawatt power project at that point, but you know, we're a little ways out from there. So let's go ahead and just get this hooked up to power, and then we'll come back, we'll make sure it all works, and then we'll call it a day. I forgot I just hooked up the power to the old factory facility right there, and I didn't have to run it all the way back to base because I was like, oh man, that's gonna be quite a run to run the power all the way over here. But it's just hooked up onto that mountain there. Again, it's kind of ugly, I don't care. I just want to see sulfur running down through here. You see it coming down the line there, and then coal will probably be here a little faster. You can see it start to probably come around the bend over there, maybe. There it is. Okay, so coal's on the way, sulfur's on the way. These are ready to go. Let's cross our fingers and hope this works properly. All right, I'm seeing green lights. Show me compact coal. There we go. Nice. All right, so that's just gonna go ahead and throw into the awesome sink for now. We got 19 coupons to use. I'm gonna do a little shopping later. So I think that'll do it for today's episode. It was a little bit of a longer one to record, but it might be a little bit of a shorter one to watch. But just a couple little fun small projects to kind of get us set up. Like I said, we're really running out of power here. Oh right, I could turn my steel factory back on because I was like, wait, what dropped so much power? That just means that we're not making any more explosive rebar at the moment. So I can turn my steel factory back on. There's probably enough explosive rebar to get us started. And then that'll kind of balance itself out, and we'll be ready to come back next time and add in the rest of the stuff for making it into turbo fuel. So thank you guys again for being here for another episode. If you liked it, make sure you leave a little comment down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, let me know down below why you hate me. And I'll see you guys in the next one.